Hey guys, I'm S. Dan Wolf. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a little bit of non-traditional programming from me. I don't hardly ever do time-lapse footage anymore. I think the reason behind that is, I've said it before, I think I tend to rush like when I'm recording myself during these builds. The time-lapse that you're watching right now is condensed down to about 12 minutes. And then we'll jump into real time here at the end. But so I'm taking like an hour and 15 minutes worth of build time and condensing it down to 12 minutes. But the thing is, it seems like I always want to rush when the camera is on like this. So that's what I'm kind of trying to move past and just try not to pay attention to it as much. Just kind of like start building, go to OBS, click record, and then start building and just forget about it. And like if I go on two and a half hours, just fix it later in editing, or make it to where you're not having to sit here and watch like a 30-minute time lapse. So that's kind of the approach I'm going to take. Like I said, I'm not really a time lapse let's player very much anymore. I'm more comfortable like just doing the build and bringing you guys in afterwards and us just having like a review of what happened. But sometimes the time lapse can be fun just to kind of let you guys in on what I've clicked on, what's happened. But yeah, really interesting times with Planet Zoo. I went from the lowest of low to like just like begging my brain to find another game to record. We went through our Microsoft Flight Simulator phase. I still might jump back into that. We were even into Fall Guys, which you guys know is fun, but totally was just kind of like grasping at straws to keep from having to make Planet Zoo videos. And then the lackluster DLCs came out with only like 3 or 4 animals, and it was just, I was in a weird place like in July-ish, June, July, when it came to Planet Zoo. It was kind of like, I almost had kind of like, forced myself into a corner where the audience, like, if I didn't put out a Planet Zoo video, it would get like 80 views or 70 views. Like nobody wanted to see anything from me but Planet Zoo. And so I really wasn't, I wasn't creating kind of on my own terms. I was like what they call sometimes is like chasing views. You're putting out a video not because you're having fun and creating and coming up with these dynamic, imaginative stories, and just letting the YouTube process play out naturally. And letting the YouTube kind of be a byproduct of you guys coming in here and having fun with me. And just so happens I record it and you get to join in on kind of what we're doing here. Definitely had gotten away from that. Planet Zoo was really forced at that time. It was a really forced Planet Zoo summer. If you guys even go back and look at some of the videos now, back then, you can probably tell really contrived, really forced type of content. But now, after it's crazy how this goes, like how this psychologically goes. This Planet Zoo in the YouTube type game here. One screenshot of Remnant, which if you guys haven't checked out Balboa Zoo, I have absolutely no idea what you're doing with your life. Go check his series out. But I saw one screenshot and it spawned all of this Suyana renovation and all of this change. And it took one screenshot. So if you are a content creator, or if you're not and you just enjoy Planet Zoo but you find yourself in a bit of a rut, definitely troll Twitter, troll Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, catch a Twitch live stream. Sometimes all it takes, and I am absolute proof, all it takes is one screenshot to totally change your outlook on a title that you were really close to giving up on. I've said the community stuff is weird. It's kind of like they're on autopilot. I really only know Shantae at this point, which, I love Shantae. She's freaking awesome. Like that, that's my road dog with Frontier. And I like the new Dalia lady too. Really, really nice. Kind of, she hit the ground running, sending packages all over the place and gaming packages. And, she seems really cool. But honestly, guys, now that Bo left, it just really kind of seems like it's running on autopilot right now. Like the whole thing just seems really kind of almost like disengaged and kind of like, I don't know, like they just kind of have better things to do. And it just kind of sucks because, they could really have a strong social media presence than just the kind of like the random animal facts that, some people care about, but some people like don't give two craps about, or, like they only do the screenshot Saturday, and that's just once a week for one tweet. And that's kind of all that gets put out. And then they do like, if some weird like, orangutan awareness day, they'll tweet something about that. And that's once a day. Like, we're lucky to hear from them more than once a day. And it just seems like it's almost like it's so much wasted social media presence potential. It's just weird. Like, I think they could really just be smashing it out of the park, but it seems like Frontier, I don't know if it's upper management or if it's the producers, but they do not let that community team like say shit. Like nothing. They're like, besides the animal facts, they are not allowed to talk about anything. Like, and then all of a sudden, it'll be a random Tuesday in December, and here comes a new DLC. And it's like, guys, you could have hyped this up. You could have let us know. We could have hyped the community up. It's just, I don't know. It's just, it's weird. It's creepy. I don't know why. That's kind of like their MO is to go the radio silence route and not really mention what's happening. No roadmaps. No. And a lot of people will say, well, Estan, you don't understand, like, as far as roadmaps and stuff go. These gamers are so freaking weird that if they put a roadmap out and they don't hit that absolute perfect target, it's worse on them than just not saying anything. So that's why Frontier isn't big on roadmaps and, holding stuff close to the cuff. It's just, it's like a community gamer based problem. And, I think maybe with Planet Zoo, with this community, I mean, come on, we've all been around for a year now, almost a year exactly. I think that the community is kind of so starved for information, it wouldn't be that big a deal for us if the goals weren't hit. It's just if we would hear something is happening, some kind of new mechanic, new animals. It's just, that's kind of what I think that's what we're kind of, a lot of us creators are kind of digging at. Just, tell us something, communicate with us, other than like, the obligatory forum post or the monthly catch-ups. It's like, we love you guys. We don't want to only hear from you once a month and then get a bunch of like animal butthole poop mound facts, It's like, we don't really care about that. It's like, you have to remember, this is a video game. Like, I know there are good causes behind conservation and, we all want what's best for the animals, but it's a video game. That's why we're here. We're not, most of us aren't conservationists, and that's not our life mission. And we don't work in zoos for the most part. We just want to play a cool video game. And I think that has sometimes, it's almost like that's the conservation part, and they're like, the social aspects of zoos has kind of like held Frontier back. And it's like, guys, we just want you to make us a cool video game and keep cool content coming. Like, let's just do that. Okay, let's do that. But nonetheless, with all of that being said, about the last week and a half, I have found a tremendous block of inspiration here, particularly in Suyana, to go in and recreate some of these enclosures that were, possibly passed over quickly when I was in the heat of the summer, and like I said, trying to pump out content, like sometimes is the case. But really to go back and try to look at it through a remnant type lens has saved the zoo, essentially, I believe. That's what's got me back in it. That's what's gotten me rethinking the story and the details, and it's really it's kind of opened up a whole new level of imagination for me to implement into the zoo, and that's just what is so much fun. These last 2 weeks, I'm like back into Planet Zoo. I'm not into Planet Zoo to get videos out. I'm generally at work again, thinking about going home and what could I do with this wall, or how can we change the pygmy hippo exhibit. Like, that hasn't happened in months, like where I'm actually not at home and thinking about Planet Zoo. Because, Planet Zoo, that's just been an afterthought. Like, I've been thinking about 1,000 other things than coming home and playing this. So that is what's really neat, just kind of getting back in here and just thinking about it throughout the day and getting excited again to come home and build, and without having a new DLC to make me want to do this. So that's really, really interesting, and I'm kind of glad it happened. And but anyways, without further ado, let's jump into the real time, and we'll chat about this a few minutes and kind of just let you see kind of what I've been up to and some of the enclosures that we've messed with. And just hold up one sec. We'll switch over. Okay, guys, check out how much better this looks now. My buddy Carol, she commented on the last video and was like, what if you just made the tiger exhibit, their main viewpoint, a glass panel? She's like, just do the glass panel. And I'm like, that may work. And I think it looks awesome. Like, doesn't that look so much better than than trying to peer through the fence? Well, they're playing. So yes, now the tiger exhibit has the large glass fence that you can't walk directly up to. This is kind of, see, we've got like the little barrier here. But yeah, now this works out. I just think it totally modernizes the exhibit. And look, you can still walk down in here and watch them swim. This is awesome. They like swimming in their little lagoon. So yeah, this just seems so much better than trying to look through that chain link. So big shout out to Carol and any of you all that may have mentioned the glass. I think that was perfect. But also, guys, look, I've got to have you check this out. We've got the Beard's tapirs over here. And I've got some little white-faced, what do they call those things? Little white-faced Cappuccin Monkeys, I believe. So they're in here with them. And they've got their little lagoon here. They love swimming, those tapirs do. So they're down in here all the time running around. We've got the little Cappuccin Monkeys. They're all the time running around their little climbing posts here. But yeah, I thought that was a cool way to kind of keep the water over here, because I really like the big pond. And also just keep us some cool little mammals kind of over here on this side. And then throwing in the monkeys was a fun little twist. It actually says they can they're enrichment buddies, you know. These monkeys and the tapirs tolerate each other. So they can be enclosure buddies. And it's just fun to sit over here and watch them kind of run around. So remember, we've got them there. Then we have the ever awesome Komodo Dragons, kind of like the dragon's lair here. Matter of fact, I'll just show you from up here. Look, it's almost like a half-heart type paddock now. So we've got all of these animals encompassed instead of just the big rhino exhibit. Now, of course, these guys are like, you know, really the stars of the show over here. But isn't this just so, it's so much cooler now that we can show off more animals kind of in this area than what we had before. Look at them all kind of just running around, playing. And we've got the Komodo Dragons, you know, they're all serious. You know, it'd be cool, like they did these like this, you know, why couldn't they do like the chameleons or the snakes where you could just make them stay in a habitat, you know? It'd just be like a smaller version instead of having to, you know, keep them in the exhibit boxes. So yeah, this is the new and improved Indian rhino area. So see, when you come in, you just have a lot more to take in now and discover. I still got to get this fixed up here, but you get the point. Look at this view you'd have of the little herd here, the little pack. But that's not all I've done. I have officially started an adventure Jeep ride. So this is really literally all I've started. I knew I wanted it to end kind of up on a hill, so see, the trucks will kind of come from up, you know, like the jungle, and swoop back down in here into the actual station. So I still have to design the track and what kind of animals we're gonna have the trucks go through. But it's going to be, I think I really want to do it like this, really dense jungle, you know, jungle type vibe going through here. And see, they will end, like all of this will be all done up in rock, and maybe have a little waterfall and some, like a bridge for them to cross over on their way back. But yes, I did have to take out Michelle's awesome souvenir building, but I think this just kind of like fits the purpose so much better. So you've got the main station building here kind of off the main road, and you essentially get loaded up here in the back of the building, and the people, like the guests, can walk by and kind of see you getting loaded up, or seeing you the trucks return. Like the parents could stand here if they're not on and get pictures of the kids kind of coming flying back down the hill into the station. I think that just worked out killer. And you also may have noticed in the time lapse, no real rhyme or reason to this building. It's just kind of like a filler building I thought could look good at the end of that. Well, you know, it was just a vacant lot right there, kind of connected to the gift shop. And I'll take you in the gift shop. This is my custom gift shop made for Suyana. And I love how you can watch the people kind of walk by out through the windows. I forget who did the actual shelves and the merchandise in here, but I saw them on the workshop and I'm like, yep, gotta have those. That is too awesome. Turn this little kind of like turn before you go down through this little area into a little seating spot so they can little set down, cool off there under the umbrellas. I thought those four worked out really good, kind of around the hustle and bustle of this turn here. But I just really thought you guys would like the kind of like the Jeep station kind of interacting so close with the path here. You could just stand here and just kind of watch them come back in and not even have to be in line. So that was pretty cool. Did a little more rock work to the Jaguars over here to just kind of make it look a little more natural. Really opened up the exhibit. If you'll notice on Twitter and Instagram. This was quite different than what it was, say, a week ago. So we are really trying to take care of our Jaguars here. So yeah. And remember too, we also said we will do a good shot of the elephants. I'll try to, you know what? I need to get a good screenshot of this guy. Let's see if I can. This may be thumbnail time. This may be thumbnail material right here. See if we can get a good shot. If I can make that a good shot, you'll notice this is the thumbnail. You'll know where this came from. Cool. And then, like I said, probably going to do a little bit of redesign with the Indian elephants. Thinking about maybe even cutting their paddock in half, kind of like we did with the rhinos. Let them kind of stay over here on the larger side. And then, of course, they'll still have the water and all that. But may cut off a portion of this for something else. Haven't totally decided yet because, you know, we like to give the elephants a lot of room. So we'll just kind of see how it goes, see if I think I can make it look right. But yeah, you know, we'll get there. And then, of course, the fishing village here that I kind of started, I'm not sure what I'll do with it. It may be moving to kind of make way for some of the Jeep Tour designs I kind of have in mind. I want to see if maybe I can make them kind of drive through the you know, the wetlands, the mud a little bit over here, because, you know, their path will start right here and they'll be going out this way. So these staff buildings will have to go. The fishing village will have to move. But, you know, we'll come up with some different ideas. I've got a lot of room to play out here as far as the Jeep Tour goes, and I may even be able to have the Jeep Tour enter the Indian elephant paddock over here, and then maybe make its way back through a tunnel or a cave back here, like behind the waterfall. So plenty of ideas. We'll just kind of have to see how it rolls out, but yeah. So that is it, guys. That is what has been going on in Suyana. I have not forgot about the Treehouse Village. I'm going to work on that probably this evening. Try to get some people up there actually walking around. And then, of course, too, some people have had some ideas for the floating mountains over here. I was thinking a cool species over here that we hadn't thought of, zebras. Like, I think that would look really cool, kind of having them over here and having a little spot, you know, kind of exotic looking. But, yeah, to have some zebras over here at the floating mountains. So, like we said, lots of options. And we will get in here and play around and just see what we can make happen. But anyways, guys, yeah, I'm S. Dan Wolf. As always, thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me. And I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you. See ya.